Hey guys, Eric here with Journey with Eric and Julia. Question for you. It's hot outside this summer. How are you beating the heat? Are you in the pool? Are you in the shade? How are you beating the heat this summer? I know I mentioned on one of our last videos, my last videos, that we had a international trip coming up, but I didn't say where. That trip is going to be to Mexico. We're going to an all-inclusive down there. And also, it's Father's Day. Just wondering, are you guys, hopefully you're off this weekend and not having to work the whole weekend. I've got to work Father's Day, but, you know, that's the way it is. But hopefully you don't have to work. Hopefully you don't have to work your whole Father's Day weekend. Hopefully you get to go out and spend some time with your kids. Got my kids out here swimming in the pool. My two tadpoles here, especially this little one right here. And this is the first chance I'm able to flip my GoPro from front facing to rear facing. This is the first time I've really had a chance to test out my Speevo stick that I did a video on the other day. And I've got my waterproof housing on my GoPro that I did another video on here recently. And I've got some videos I'm going to put out soon on my GoPro remote that I just got, smart remote. I'll be putting out some new videos on this here soon. I'll be testing this, and this Speevo stick and my underwater housing will really get put to the test when we go down to the ocean. I know I had one of my comments on the last GoPro video that I had was asking how this underwater housing works in the ocean. Well, we're going to find out soon, because I'm going to be using this underwater housing, this Speevo stick, and this GoPro smart remote. I'm going to be using them in the ocean, so we're going to find out soon how well they all three actually work in the ocean, if that makes any difference. I don't expect that it will, you know, but it is salt water, so who knows. But we always have a great time when we go down to Mexico, for the most part. For the most part, it doesn't disappoint. You know, it's all-inclusive. And the water down there is some of the best in the world. They got some of the top dive sites in the world. I've still got some videos to put out from our San Francisco trip that I haven't finished putting out, so look for those. I've still got some more videos from that series to put out, and when we get back from our Mexico trip, then I'll start with that series on our Mexico trip. So make sure you're trying to stay in the shade. Don't forget your hat. Don't forget your sunglasses, and don't forget your sunscreen if you get out in the sun. But I will tell you this: if you haven't discovered these sunscreen shirts that are rated like USB 50, they're like the same as putting on sunscreen. Ever since we went to Mexico a few years ago, and my wife and I were snorkeling, and we got out of the water, and my back was I was a lobster, like literally a lobster. And so ever since then, I've started wearing these long sleeve shirts. You stay cool, but you don't get burnt, and you don't have to keep reapplying sunscreen every 30 minutes like you do if you don't wear them. My kids both have one on. They got matching green, lime green, so they stand out, you know, and they're bright fluorescent lime green, and they have the same color, so we don't have any trouble spotting our kids and a group of kids while we're down in Mexico. You know, there can be 20 kids out there, and you know, we can spot ours pretty quickly because they got these lime green shirts on. But also, like I said, the shirts that they're wearing are also resist. They're like wearing sunscreen. They're USB rated like 50 or something like that, and the long sleeve. So if you don't have any of those, I would highly recommend you get some because they make all the difference in the world. Because you don't want to end up with skin cancer. But this trip is going to be a family trip. Our last trip we went on to San Francisco was a couples trip, just the wife and I. So this trip will be a family trip. I always try to, you know, our channel is geared towards couples and families and foodies. So our last trip was geared towards couples and foodies. Well, this trip is going to be geared towards families and foodies. So hopefully I'll be able to provide, as always. I always try and bring you guys the most useful content, useful tips to help you plan your next trip. And as always, thank you for supporting our channel. We appreciate it. Have a great Father's Day weekend, you guys. Enjoy it with your families, and we'll see you very soon. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
It's that cold day.
Okay.